Um, and here's the thing: risk is the only thing that's really in your control when you're trading. This is something that's very common that can be found anywhere. Is that there are actually only four outcomes in trading. When you talk about four outcomes, it's the big win and the small win, obviously, and the small loss and the big loss. But when you talk about trading, if you're talking about 50% hit ratio and you're talking about the wins, essentially all of this becomes a wash. If you have one big win and you have one big loss, they basically offset one another, right? The objective in trading really is to be able to eliminate this big loss. And if you can eliminate this big loss, what ends up happening? It's the small wins end up offsetting the small losses like this. And what ends up happening is that you just really keep the big wins in place. So that's the true objective of what we want to do in trading, is that we want to be able to say, hey, I want to limit the amount of losses that I'm taking. And it doesn't mean that I'm not losing money or I'm not making mistakes. These things, like we said, are part of trading. But when you do have those losses, you want to be able to limit them to small ones. And you have to be able to take away completely those big losses, because those big losses are the ones that something really happened. So whenever I look back in my trading, every time in the event that there's a big loss somewhere, I got to go back and say, hey, what did I do wrong here? Was it something that I was emotionally compromised with the stock? Was it something that was out of my control, like it was a placement, or it was earnings that I didn't account for? These are situations where, hey, this is an unacceptable loss that I've just taken here. What is the reason why it happened, so that I make sure it doesn't happen again?